Well, hello and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me again for some cozy caravan. I really do appreciate you stopping in and watching. First, we're going to pull up to Morty's pumpkin patch so that way we can go ahead and talk to him about the invite to the Whiz Bang Festival. He lets us know that he would like to go with Poppy and that he would like some black flowers to make a dressage for her. Luckily, I already had some, so let's go ahead and grab those. Returning with the flowers, Morty gives us the corsage, so we need to head back to see Poppy. After harvesting all of the crops that we can from Sweetness Way, we go ahead and set up camp. We are on the way to the Toffee Top Orchards, so we're going to stop by Dairy Me Milk Bar and Whispering Falls Lookout so that way we can grab some more crops. The very next morning we wake up and we receive a recipe for a piece of clothing from Aunt Madeline. On the way to Toffee Top Orchards, we go ahead and talk to Ellie, which kind of works out because we need to talk to Hans to get some herbs from him specifically in Toffee Top Orchards. We have made it to Toffee Top. We talk to Caramel Sundae and tell them about Muddle's plan to do a pop-up apple cider collab. Apparently, Caramel Sundae has already been through this, so they let us know that if they want to do it, they would like to spice things up, and we would need to get apple cake from Stony Bridge. Olivia makes the best apple cakes, apparently, so we need to swing by there and speak to her. As we needed some more milk, we were completely out. I flew past Whispering Falls and Dairy Me Milk Bar, came back to Toffee Top Orchards once I had picked everything up, because we still need to talk to Hans. I didn't forget about him. I just wanted to go ahead and get as many supplies as we could while we still had sunlight. The very next morning, we come and talk to Hans about the herbs, where they tell us that we need to add them at just the right time, not too early and not too late. We had a daily event here, which was rummage. We go ahead and throw away all the trash, and they give us a blueberry jam. Now, we don't have blueberries yet, so that means that one of the new areas that we can unlock must have blueberries, and I'm excited to find them. Once we finally make it back to Ellie, we go ahead and tell her about the ingredients and how to do it. She then gives us the recipe and asks us to make it. We're finishing up the stew. Let's go ahead and turn it into Ellie to see how she likes it. She lets us know that it is perfect and she can't wait for the Whiz Bang Fair. After a long journey, we finally make it to Olivia. We tell her about the idea and she says absolutely she would love to join in and to come back later. While waiting on Olivia, we come to talk to Poppy and give her the corsage. She informs us that she wasn't sure on how to break it to us, that she wanted to go to the Whiz Bang Fair with Morty. So it all kind of worked out. We give her the corsage and she asks us to drop off a letter with Morty. As soon as we got done talking with Poppy, it was pretty late, so we went ahead and set up camp. Of course, you gotta love on Rigby, talk to Bubba, and then start tomorrow new. Since I was right here, I decided to come talk to Donatello and give them the yellow pigment that they needed. Continuing on with Kristoff's quest, while we were right next door to Clanberry, we stopped by to talk to Kato. Kato lets us know that Flossie has taken Kristoff's package and is expected to be in Pebblewick. We have not visited Pebblewick yet, so I'm expecting that to be something in the future. Maybe that's where we will find the blueberries. We made our way to Lugo Lago Springs, where we talked to Chef Jean-Claude. He tells us that we can have the corn chowder recipe if we are able to prove that we have some cooking capabilities. They ask us to make one corn on the cob to be able to tell them that we are at least competent at cooking. After returning and giving the corn on the cob to Chef Jean-Claude, they give us the letter that contains the recipe to give to his brother. Of course, threatens us to not look at it or we will be cutting potatoes in his kitchen for the rest of time. We come speak to Rafa and they ask us to find a scarecrow to take a picture of. While on the way to turn in the letter, it gets pretty late and we end up at Dairy Me Milk Bar. We were only able to get one jug of milk from here, which is fine. It's better than nothing. and we will continue on tomorrow. We make it to Hershey Homestead and come talk to Jean-Pierre. Go ahead and give him the letter, and in return he does give us the recipe for the corn chowder. We made our way back to Morty. We give him the letter, and he is absolutely ecstatic and super happy to be able to go with Poppy. Shortly after talking to Morty, we come speak to Olivia about the samples of the apple cake that we need to bring to Toffee Top Orchards. While I was on the way, I remembered the only place that I have found scarecrows yet is at Morty's pumpkin patch. So we went ahead and got a couple pictures with the scarecrows there. Honestly, they're pretty adorable. We made it to Basilbrook before we had to go to bed for the night. And we got 2 upgrades from our bestest friend, Arthur. We got the ability to run for me and Rigby. But we also got Bubba being the cashier for our market days. Now that isn't a very important detail for right this second, but it will be very soon. The next morning, we go ahead and go to the Grandview Gardens to talk to Rafa to go ahead and turn in the scarecrow picture. Of course, he tells us to come back tomorrow for the unveiling. Returning to Donatello to see what they have created, they ask for blue pigment. Luckily enough, I went ahead and had some blue flowers, so we went and made the blue pigment and dropped off to Donatello. But once again, they ask us to swing back by tomorrow to see the finished product. Following the consistent trend that we have made here, we made it to Dairy Me Milk Bar before we had to stop for the night. This is where we see the new mechanic of feeding Rigby and myself for energy. I went and made a couple salads earlier in the video, just so that we would have them, and a couple pans of roasted potatoes. I give Rigby the salads as it was a pretty good energy boost for him. He also only uses like one little sliver of his energy for quite a long distance, so you don't need to feed them or yourself every single night, but it does help to keep your energy up pretty high. We make it all the way back to Caramel Sundae to drop off the cake samples. Caramel Sundae asks us to go talk to Muddle to go ahead and set up for the pop-up apple cider / apple cake event. As we pull back into Basilbrook, I would like to ask you, if you made it this far, to please like and subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me. I really do appreciate it. Let's go talk to Muddle to give him the good news. We tell Muddle that the pop-up is absolutely on and that Olivia will be supplying apple cake. He's very happy about that and gives us the recipe for apple cider. We make it back to Donatello to talk to them, and this is finally the end of their quest line, where they tell us that we were speechless at Donatello's color spectrum, where we also get purple fabric and purple dye. I was pretty excited about those colors because I do like purple. I think it's a very pretty color. But before we leave here fully, I would like to kind of explain why we got the speed boost. I have realized that we spend quite a lot of time traveling, for the most part, between city to city, and this kind of shortened or doubled our speed overall, making it so much faster to be able to go from city to city. This has cut down on how much time we're spending at different places and making it much easier for us to get to destinations that we need to in the same day. We just barely squeak into the Grandview Gardens before we have to go to bed for the night. So of course we give Rigby some love and we talk to Bubba for a minute before going to bed. It would be here that I would like to say thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next video. Of course, like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you think of the game so far. I'm sure enjoying it. Some of the quests are a little bit long, but overall, it's wonderful.